Hey there, thanks for inviting me to do this interview. Greetings from Utah, USA. Laneth is the name that I've chosen to identify myself as a musician. It doesn't really have any particular meaning, but it was the name of my first YouTube channel, and people came to know me online by that name. So I kept it, and I plan on keeping it for a very long time because I love how cute it is and how edgy it is at the same time. My story about meeting Simone and Epica is a great one and something I'm not gonna forget for the rest of my life. Pretty much it begins when two friends and I traveled 300 miles north to Salt Lake City to see Epica, and this was my first real concert that I've ever been to of a band that I love. And so of course I was stoked. I had VIP pass, and we were waiting in line to meet the band members, and I just broke out into tears when I got up there, and I felt really stupid afterwards, but all I could say to Simone was, "You're such an inspiration," and she stood up and she hugged me and said, "That's so sweet." And of course, the whole starstruck thing really freaks out some musicians and stuff. Like, they just want people to think of them as normal people, like me, for an example. But I don't know, I felt really stupid about the whole thing, but at the end of the show, she signed this set list for me. There's probably a glare on it, but in the top right-hand corner it says Best Fan in Salt Lake City, and then Simone signed it at the bottom. And so it's become really like a good luck charm and just something I keep by my recording station. And of course, like I said before, I felt really bad and stupid about it, so I made her a video telling her all the things that I wanted to tell her in person that I couldn't, and then I uploaded it to YouTube, and I didn't really expect her to see it or anything, but then 9 or 10 months later I was scrolling through my newsfeed on Facebook of all places, and I saw that she had posted it on her Facebook page, and that it had over 1,000 likes, and it gained about, I think, 4,000, 5,000, it could be 7,000 or 8,000 by now, I don't know, views, and people saw it, and I recorded a cover of Delirium at the end of it, and so people could hear me sing, and so it gained me quite a bit of a fan base, and in terms of being recognized, things have never been better. My 3 favorite bands in descending order are Epica, then Kamelot, then Nightwish. Nightwish used to be my all-time favorite, but their newest releases don't really do it for me. Kamelot joined the ranks with Silverthorn. Of course, I always knew who they were since I started listening to this type of music, but that album was what really made me look back at their back catalog and made me fall in love with them. And Epica deserves its place at the top because, not only because of that experience I had with the band, but because only one of their albums out of 5 has been, like, less stronger than the others, and so I think they deserve that place, and my favorite Epica songs are Kingdom of Heaven and Quietus, closely followed by many others, and then my favorite Kamelot song is Center of the Universe, and my favorite Nightwish song is Everdream. I write and compose all of my own music by myself. I had a male guitarist and vocalist help me out with 2 of the songs on my demo Caprica, which I've released a couple of songs from for free download through SoundCloud and Reverb Nation. But I did write everything by myself. I wrote all the lyrics, the music, I programmed the music, I mixed it, and everything, and I'm doing the same thing with my full release that I'm going to release soon. It's not finished yet. It's called Morotica, which is based on a story that I actually have been writing since I was 14, But of course, Melodica is only like 36 to 40 minutes long, and this story I've been developing since I was 14. So it's just a very loose interpretation of it, but it's pretty much about violent oppression by a master race of machines and rising against them and taking control by just like a simple normal man. And that kind of thing has always really appealed to me. And I am almost finished. I only have to record vocals for 2 more songs, and then what I'm gonna do that's different than Caprica is I'm going to have somebody else mix it for me and master it, just so it can sound as good as it possibly can. Between working 2 part-time jobs and school and all this, and joining the symphonic metal band Overdream, I haven't really been able to dedicate myself completely to finishing Melodica. But Overdream has been around since, well, they released an album in 2006, and then they went dormant until summer of 2013 when they contacted me and asked them to join as their vocalist. And since then we have released 3 songs, and we're working on a music video clip. And it's been really time-consuming, training my voice and getting everything ready for the album that they're working on writing right now. But I'm really excited. Overdream is definitely the biggest band I've been a part of. I was briefly involved in a Scottish project called Atlantica in the winter of 2012, and that's when I was also writing Caprica and kind of experimenting and getting my sound and all that, so it wasn't all that, but we stopped making music after we released our first song, Fall Forever, which you can find on YouTube still. And I don't know why it fell apart. We were working on our second song and it kind of just disappeared, but that one song is still there. I have been writing songs as Laneth since I was in about 9th and 10th grade on, but I never really had a way until 2012 when I was a senior in high school to actually bring those ideas into music and like make a song. Back then I was mostly just writing lyrics, and I wrote My Rising Fall back then, which wasn't recorded and set to music until 2012, and it was on Caprica. Definitely Laneth, because like I said, I only have 2 more songs to record vocals for and it's finished, and Overdream has still quite a bit to do before the album is ready for me to record vocals for. I am a university student who took time off from a semester to work 2 jobs and save up money, and I find time to do my music as well. Life is pretty hectic at this stage, but I do find time to relax. I am not religious at all, really. I don't have anything to do with that, but I am spiritual in myself. I moved here to St. George, Utah, which is kind of by Las Vegas, but I moved here when I was 5, and I'm 19 now, and my parents have said multiple times that they really wish we wouldn't have moved here. It's not a super big city or like a tiny town, it's just somewhere in the awkward middle. It's both a college town and a retiree community, which makes it really strange, and the old people try and make it as boring as possible here. And the music scene is pretty much non-existent, which is one reason my music has mainly been growing online. Because every time we open a venue here, it either gets shut down because of inactivity, or because they couldn't obtain a dancing permit from the city council, and it's just ridiculous. And I want to move up to Salt Lake City, which is a much bigger city than where I am, and then ultimately Seattle, Washington. And that's an even bigger city, and I hope to make success there. I'm lucky to have friends with similar interests and ambitions that I do. For one, my boyfriend was choir president in high school. My best friend is a contortionist and actually wants to work for Cirque du Soleil as a contortionist in the future. And then my little brother plays guitar, rocks at it, and he's looking to start an alternative rock band. I've mentioned to him a couple of times, hey, we should totally write some acoustic stuff together. But obviously we have much different tastes in music, but I think we could make a nice sound together. And my boyfriend really supports my dreams, and he really wants to travel the world with me, whether I'm on tour or it's just we're financially comfortable enough to do so. It really depends on what you're trying to succeed at. There's the big tale of the American dream where you can come to America and make it big doing what you love. Sadly, it's pretty much only a tale. There are a few lucky ones who get through, and I really hope I'm one of them. I believe I have a lot in store for me, and I believe that dreams don't come overnight. They come with hard work, dedication, and just working your ass off, pretty much. And I hope it's more than dreaming I can do in my case. Dare to dream. Find your boundaries, extend those limits, and find out who you are and just what you want to do. And learn more about yourself on the way. Once we release the album, we do really hope to tour, and Bulgaria would be a very possible destination because the band is based in Hungary. In my wildest dreams, I do hope to see that happen. And so until then, I can just expand my connections and my vocal abilities until the possibility is more realistic. How grateful I am that you are a supporter of me and that you took the time to craft this interview.